Diana continues to search for the missing pages from the Book of Life while Matthew goes to New Orleans to form a scion. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve from Valhartv, and today I'll be reviewing Discovery of Witches Season 3, Episode 3. So this episode starts out with Matthew, Marcus, and Jack arriving in New Orleans, where Marcus talks to vampire Geraldine. And Geraldine is very against meeting with Matthew and even starting the scion, and she tells Marcus that they need to leave. And there's a reason because of that. And we find out a little bit later on it's because of what Matthew did with this, what they call the cult for blood rage vampires. So right off the bat, we see that things are not going well for these guys in New Orleans. They've been there for I think it's like a day or day and a half, and they're already pretty much getting told to go home because nobody wants them around. And Matthew is determined to make this work, and he's not listening to anybody. And Marcus is trying to help out, and he's trying to do things his way as well. So we get a whole thing of Matthew does things his way, and then Marcus is like, well, let's try it my way. And Matthew's like, no, I don't want to. I want to do it my way. So we get like a push and pull between them, which I thought was very interesting because we did see even last season where there was like a lot of trust between them until Marcus found out that he was lied to and that he was an asymptomatic blood rage vampire. So we really get this whole thing with this new dynamic between the two of them where Marcus really doesn't trust him as much as he used to. And there's a whole, and they keep going back and forth with how they want to handle this. And meanwhile, in London, Diana works with Phoebe to find the missing pages, which leads Diana to one of the libraries in the area. And she ends up finding this book that was lost there, and then she makes like this magic barrier around her that she uses to be able to read the pages without anybody actually seeing what she's doing, because she's doing magic and you're not supposed to show off in front of muggles. So I thought that was really cool looking. But this also leads her to a familiar face. But Knox is right close on her heels too. And he actually gets to that person first. So we really get to see that there's a real race going on here, and the stakes are starting to raise, on this. Because she doesn't know that Knox is, this close to finding the pages as well. So I thought that was really, really good. And I'm wondering who's going to get them first. So, and Ransom is I guess the big head of the New Orleans vampires of that side of the family from Marcus. And he ends up going to a cemetery that Jack keeps going to. And he meets Jack, and the dialogue really kind of between them was really good because Jack is like, man, I'm not supposed to talk to you. But Ransom's like, so you're the blood rage vampire that he's not killing. Why? What's special about you? And then that prompts Ransom to meet Matthew. And I think after that, this is probably this is probably the best scene out of this entire third episode. Where Ransom and Matthew meet. And Matthew goes and recites all the names of the blood rage vampires that he deleted. And he actually shows remorse for what he did, because he didn't know that there might be a different way. He was just doing what he was told to do by Philippe. So I thought this was really good because everybody's just sitting around listening to him recite all of these names and exactly what happened. I was like, that by far is the best scene out of this whole entire episode. Fantastic. The dialogue, fantastic. And it was just really reciting names. It was great. And this episode ends on Benjamin paying a visit to Satu. So, I'm wondering if we'll see them work together later on, or if she's going to basically stick to her guns and say, go away. So I really am very curious about that too. So the effects in this, again, were all really more practical effects. We do get the magic element with Diane covering up with a barrier spell so nobody can see what she's doing. So that was kind of cool looking. The acting went to Matthew in this one. Honestly, Matthew and Ransom really in this one. Everybody did really well, but the fact that Matthew just literally trails off and just starts reciting names of everybody he's deleted while everybody's just captivated, sitting around being like, we didn't even think this guy remembered anybody, you know? And it was fantastic. Hats off to Matthew for doing such a great job in that scene alone. So with a split focus between the U.S. and London in this episode, the attention turns more towards finding the missing pages and starting the new scion. So we really get to see a lot of work in this episode done, especially for finding pages, things like that. And it also raises the stakes quite a bit, too, because now that they've got everything going for them, and they're trying to get the pages, they're trying to get the scions, and we still see everybody's plotting against Matthew and Diana, the stakes are raising higher and higher if everything goes well and the scion gets created and they find more of the missing pages. You know, so there's a huge race going on, especially with Knox trying to get his hands on at least one to maybe two of the pages alone. So, and in this episode, we see that he doesn't get a page, which is really good, but still, he's trying to get ahead of Diana even just a little bit to get one of them so he can get the Book of Life. So this is really good. Like, this is starting to ramp up a little more. And there's still no progress in finding the cure for blood rage yet, which, again, makes things even more difficult for Matthew because of Jack. So this whole thing is just ramping up. Again, I would give this at least an 8.5, 9 out of 10 easily. Fantastic episode. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe as I do more content. Try to anyways each week. Take care for now, everyone.